In many ways, I didn't choose Simon Peter. I feel like he chose me. I was working through Luke Acts and met him for the first time and realized that I had, like a lot of American Christians, had looked at his life in a very fragmented way, in a very one-dimensional way. And I met this fully formed, very mature, emotionally complex person in Acts, and then worked back through the Gospels and discovered this person that I really wanted to know more about.
He called you the rock, the foundation of a temple formed from God's love.
There's a lot that we can learn about the friendship that existed between Jesus and Peter. If Jesus had a best friend, it was Simon. They once they met, we have their first meeting in the first chapter of John. It seems that Peter, seldom left Jesus' side. They were always together. And you see a very basic friendship between the two of them. They get on each other's nerves. Peter is the only person that ever says no to Jesus. Jesus, the most stern rebukes he gives anybody, he gives to Simon. Then Jesus says, "Who do you say I am?" Peter says, "You are the Christ." It doesn't matter what we say, you are the Christ. But then as soon as Peter sort of makes that definition of who Jesus is, then Jesus turns right around and says, "You're Peter, you're the rock." So, you're the Christ, you're the rock. They define each other, which I think all real friends do.
Love called you out on the water and held you when you were alone. For you were the rock that was broken by love, forever the fragile stone.
I think Jesus defines me. He can define us. And he's called us his friends in the Gospel of John. He's gone so far as to say that. He hasn't called us servants. He's called us friends. It's amazing to me when you look at the composition of the 12. You have all these fishermen, at least 4 that we know of are fishermen, and they're all in a little business with Simon Peter. He uses their past as fishermen, and he makes the wonderful transition. He says, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you're going to catch men."
At dawn he rose in view and filled our nets, and my soul too. The fisher king, my rendezvous, upon the sea of souls, upon the sea of souls. We ride the tides of time.
His call didn't come because of his qualifications. His call came because of the grace of God. He is not Peter the strong rock. He is a fragile stone whom God nonetheless called and uses. And that's comforting to me, because if we're honest with our lives, we know that there aren't any qualities that we have that would merit a call from God. God calls us because of his grace. The main point that I want readers to take away from this book, if you want to get to know Jesus, one of the best ways to get to know him is to get to know the people who are around him and to see how he impacted them. And Peter is the absolute best person to do this with. Jesus chooses me in spite of myself, that Jesus uses my fragileness, that Jesus has invited me to become a living stone, to become part of this marvelous church that he's building. So the real point of this book is getting to know Jesus.
We remember we are